Welcome back to Movie Night Podcast, everybody. This week is welcome back to another actual Marvel episode again, because we did one last week. But we're
actually no, we didn't. The audio. I forgot to turn the microphones on, so we gotta do that episode over again. Sorry, bro. There's just a lot to handle.
You know what, dude? Like low key, this is the third time you fucking done this shit.
There's a lot to put in. I have to fucking plug in my computer, the microphone. There's a camera.
I don't give a fuck. You're fired. Dead ass, you're fired.
All right, bro. Fuck this shit. First of all, you can't fire me. I quit. Second of all, I can't quit because we're only two people podcast right now. My brother in Christ, we are short-staffed.
The producer is now the co-host.
And the producer.
Yeah.
We're running a little low on manpower right now.
Yeah.
So what do you say we do that again? JaCoby?
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. So we were supposed to. We filmed this whole thing yesterday, but then audio issues. So we're doing it again today. Damn, but that's fine. Man. Honestly, it's fine because there were some things I wanted to say last time anyway. Yeah. So it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't remember the points that you made about a few of these movies.
You probably forgot anyway. Honestly,
I don't even know what I had for breakfast this morning. So
yeah,
we're probably good.
Honestly, it's like it never even happened.
It's gonna be an authentic reaction.
Yeah.
You ever seen Finding Dory? Type shit. No, literally type shit.
Yeah. So let me just explain the rules. So we're going into a tier maker today, and we are going to make a tier list out of, obviously, as you can see, we eloquently made custom tiers.
Yes.
Starting all the way at the top at peak MCU, going all the way down to garbage. We couldn't get the accent mark over the A, so it's garbage.
Tier list might be racist a little bit.
It's garbage.
Yeah. Tier list might be a little racist for that. The point of this,
but however, there are rules.
Which I was about to say. Yes.
The rules are: we're doing movies first.
Yes.
And then we'll be doing shows afterwards. Special presentations do count as movies in this sense, because they're pretty much just short films. And other than that, the TV shows are just going to be after.
Yeah, we're going to speed run them at the end. But the interesting part about this is that we are going to have to agree to where to put these movies. We have vast different opinions on a few of these, so it's going to be fun to come to conclusions.
Pretty much everything after, even in phase 1 yesterday, we were
kind of bitching each other, but not as much. I'm feeling
pretty much everything after phase 1. We start to greatly differentiate,
and that's a good point to mention that we are going by phases. So we're going to start phase 1. We're going to go in release order. So we're going to start with phase 1.
Yeah, do our best. We're going to do our best to go in release order. I don't remember the exact order of how everything was released.
I got a release order right here, bro.
Oh, okay, cool.
See, I come prepared.
Actually, literally forgot about that from yesterday.
So
yesterday morning.
So our point is exactly correct. That this is basically a whole new episode.
Yeah, right. But basically, we're doing this week because D23 was this weekend, and
San
Diego Comic-Con just came out, and there's been a whole bunch of new announcements. Go check out our video on San Diego Comic-Con's announcements. But Deadpool and Wolverine is the latest addition to the MCU, and we want to put that in to the tier list, but we thought while we're doing it,
why not talk about the whole MCU?
Let's do it.
We are finally going to capitalize on the cash cow of the MCU. I'm
finally going to get Mike to agree to do an episode on pre-MCU stuff.
Oh, I love pre-MCU. All right, let's start off the tier list with the one that started it all. Iron Man, coming out in 2008.
Starring Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Just that little actor that a lot of people seem to forget his name.
Yeah, I guess he's playing Dr. Doom now. I don't know if you ever heard about that, but he's whatever.
I honestly don't even think we need to do anything with this. It's just peak.
The way that it just kicked off the entire MCU, Robert Downey Jr.
Honestly, and I said this yesterday, but I wanted to elaborate more on this. Obadiah Stane is a good villain. He's a good, a solid.
Tony Stark built us in a cave. Box of scraps.
But Ironmonger at the end of that movie is genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
When it's just a giant hulking metal fucking guy. Yeah. That's crazy. I love.
Speaking of hulking.
Yes, speaking of hulking.
Excellent transition.
The Incredible Hulk, starring Edward Norton.
Not that incredible, if you ask me.
You had a bone to pick with this one yesterday.
I don't like this movie. Yeah, no, let me start off. I made a point, and I'm going to stick to this point. It feels like the most out-of-place MCU movie because we never see...
It does actually feel pre-MCU a bit.
It doesn't feel like an MCU movie. We never see this Hulk again. We see, Mark Ruffalo be Hulk the rest of the way through. And the only character that really gets screen time past this movie that's in this movie is Thunderbolt Ross, which is kind of ironic. There's not a lot about this movie that feels MCU-y. There's not humor. I don't think the character moments are really strong in this movie. I don't love the chemistry between Edward Norton and I forget the actress name, the main love interest, quote unquote,
Betty Ross.
I don't love this movie. Again, it's so hard to rank because it feels so out of place. And Marvel kind of wants you to forget that this movie exists. Like they don't really. Yeah, they barely reference this movie even a little bit.
I mean, they reference it once in Avengers.
Yeah,
in the first Avengers,
which is the next appearance of Hulk, and then they kind of are like, all right.
Literally after that, it's like everything after this, the Hulk has like a whole new identity. Yeah. Well, Abomination, no, because then I didn't watch She-Hulk, but I know Abomination does come back, and it is.
Yeah, he was in Shang-Chi too.
Yeah, yes, and it's still the same Abomination. He just looks a little bit different.
Which is, whatever.
But
I guess.
My case for this is that I recently did just rewatch this one because I was doing like a little MCU rewatch, and The Incredible Hulk is obviously the second one in the MCU. So I did rewatch it. I don't think it's bad. I think
I would put it.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you that it is. I do agree with you that it does feel disconnected.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like an MCU movie except for the fact that Robert Downey Jr. pops up at the end of the movie, and that's pretty much it.
Right. Yeah.
But like other than that, it's a good Hulk movie. I grew up as a Hulk fan. Like me and my cousins were really big Hulk fans.
Yeah.
As kids.
Yeah.
So like I guess that maybe plays some part of into it. But I don't think it's ass. I really don't.
What's the one above ass? We got
No Bueno.
Yeah, put it in No Bueno. We could put it in No Bueno. It's
And I'm not gonna die on that hill, but I think that No Bueno is better than ass because that's just like it's
No
not
Bueno.
that bad.
Yeah,
it's
No
not
Bueno
that
is like
because like the fight with Hulk and Abomination at the end is actually really fucking good. Like that whole scene at the end, low key makes up for like the rest of the movie. If that. Oh, you know who else is in this movie?
Who?
Phil from Modern Family.
Oh really? I totally forgot about that, dude.
He's Betty Ross's like new boyfriend.
Dude,
and I was like, what the fuck is that, Phil? What the hell?
And that would have been like what, 2008? That would have been like the peak of Modern Family.
No, not 2008. This is 2009.
No, what? 2008. It came out the same year as Iron Man.
Did it?
Yeah. Momentary break. Be careful in that search bar, JaCoby.
Damn. I was right.
Okay.
1 year later.
All right, so
the Hulk got him Modern Family.
The Hulk was his breakout role.
You can thank the Incredible Hulk for Phil in Modern Family.
All right. Well, at least this movie does one thing. Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. You had strong feelings about this one too. I'm not gonna say it's. If I were just to come out and say it straight away, I'd say it's pretty good.
It is the worst Iron Man movie, which isn't necessarily a huge diss because the other two are really good.
Well, it's also not saying that it's terrible.
I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm putting it in mid. I'm going to put it in mid. I don't think...
Because honestly, pretty much, I mean, like, I know you don't like Whiplash.
Whiplash does not do it for me.
But like...
They didn't flesh out the...
Yeah, but come on, like, the fight... Like, the War Machine, Tony Stark fight at the end.
War Machine is cool.
That's peak.
It is... The whole stuff with Hammer is good.
Well, even the stuff with, like... My favorite parts about Iron Man 2 is, like, Tony battling with like his alcoholism and like the stuff with his heart and like him thinking he's gonna die soon.
Yeah.
And like him doing crazy shit. Like there's like the fight with War Machine and Iron Man in his house. They're like picking up dumbbells and swinging it. Like that shit's cool. But like I do think that Whiplash was supposed to be like the main villain.
Fell on his flat on his ass.
And it didn't work.
It did not work. I'm putting it in mid. I mean, you know.
I'll say mid just because I know like that's the highest you're gonna go, and the lowest I would go is probably pretty good. But well, this is I'd say mid's probably the lowest I'd go for that anyway.
Yeah.
Thor 1.
You know I don't like the first two Thor movies. You are much nicer to these movies than I am.
That's because I did love these movies growing up. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me tell you what I did like. Chris Hemsworth obviously is great. I think this is a little bit before they figure out how to use Thor, but he's still good. The scenes of him in Earth he really seems like a fish out of water, and that works really well.
You know what I do think, though? I think the main problem with this movie is that pretty much everything that happens on Earth is boring as fuck.
Yep.
Everything that happens on Asgard and like all the Thor stuff that happens on Asgard and Jotunheim and all that stuff, that's cool as hell.
Yep.
But everything that happens on Earth is super boring, and I'll give you that, like 100%.
Yeah. Natalie Portman's fine in this movie. This is again Loki's first movie. Like,
and Loki.
Yeah.
In this movie,
Loki,
he's peak Loki in this.
Yeah, he's really good.
So
I'll put it in no bueno, probably.
Nah, mid.
I'll do with mid. I'll give you low mid. Yeah,
because that whole opening part where they go to Jotunheim and fight the frost giants, and
yeah, that is badass.
Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
And then the whole end scene where he breaks the rainbow bridge and he's whatever, like Loki is sacrifices himself or whatever.
Yeah, definitely doesn't appear in 8 more movies in Marvel. Yeah,
and TV series.
Right, gets his own show. 2
you know,
seasons.
the god of stories now.
Right,
he's so dubbed. Captain America. Yeah, this one shocked me yesterday because, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's pretty good.
This movie's peak.
It's pretty good. It's not peak. It's.
You know what? I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again for our people listening for the first time, but us.
Everybody but us. Too.
Yeah. But this movie feels like an old comic book.
It does.
It feels like a vintage comic book.
The montage with him, like with the war bonds and everything.
Each bond you buy is a bullet in the barrel of your best guy's gun.
Yeah,
like that whole shit. Star Spangled Man with a plan.
Yeah, when he's like doing like this, like on stage, like, that's peak. The whole stuff.
I do like how. Oh, also I said this yesterday. The best Captain America suit in any of the movies.
That I agree with. And also the best Captain America scene in any of the movies when he's still skinny, scrawny Steve Rogers and he jumps on the grenade. That is like...
Yes.
If you want to tell the character of
or
Steve
even
Rogers,
the part where
where
where Erskine is telling him why he was chosen.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, whatever, like, but he says, like, you know, not to have great power, but to be a good man or whatever. That whole part. That's I love this movie. I'm pretty good. You have to give me pretty good on this.
No, I give
Red Skull. Good. Red Skull's great.
Yeah, he is.
Everyone else is great. I honestly don't see it. I honestly watch this movie probably more than most.
Peggy Carter's really good too.
It's Haley Atwell.
Super weird that he dates his niece in a few years, but you know.
Dates her niece, you mean?
Yeah. I'll give you pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Movie.
Yeah.
Avengers.
Okay. Avengers.
Come on. Now.
Don't even need to talk about it.
So that is, we don't even really need to, I guess, touch on the Avengers. But if we had to, for anybody out there who disagrees,
how are you going to, like, literally this movie made superheroes cool in modern media?
The cultural impact of this movie is greater than any superhero movie ever made, period.
Like,
sorry.
So, yeah, I mean, like, because I remember like being a comic book fan before. It's literally like almost like a BC AD thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially for comic book fans.
BA, before Avengers.
Yeah, before Avengers.
Yeah,
and
right.
AA, after Avengers.
Well, let's not use AA.
Alcohol Anonymous.
Yeah, right.
But
that's how some of these movies in Phase 4 made me feel.
Facts.
Sorry.
But Avengers just did something to the world that... Honestly, like it just has such a big impact.
Yeah.
Because like I remember you talking about like me and you both have memories of being in school, young kids in school.
It was finally cool to be a nerd.
Yeah, it was like, and like I remember
cool.
Kids that usually would make fun of us for being nerds about that shit are asking us questions about the Hulk and about Iron Man and about Captain America, and it's like all this shit. It's like, damn, y'all actually give a fuck about this now? Like,
yeah, this shit's cool. I mean, I think when Kevin Feige but when he like laid down the framework for the MCU, the Avengers was kind of his magnum opus.
Mm-hmm.
This was, and again, obviously,
I think Endgame was the magnum opus. I'm saying
like his magnum opus in the sense that I don't think anybody thought it was going to get to Endgame before this. This was his this is his big first goal, and that shit smashed. And that
I think after Avengers, Endgame was like
magnum. Endgame
that was like okay, well this shit worked, and now we're gonna do
cranked up to 11. Yeah. But that's Phase 1 of the MCU.
Honestly, what we think about Phase 1, just a
peak. I mean,
peak.
Even the bad movies, like even like Thor, which I don't like, and Hulk. I mean, Hulk again just feels so discontinued. But even Thor, like I mean, it's Thor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You have to give the Phase 1 so much credit because without this, we don't have the rest of the MCU. Like, if Phase 1 flopped, cooked.
If any one of these movies did bad.
Yeah, like,
it's not even the fact that, like, if all of Phase 1 flopped, it's if one of these movies did poorly, the rest were, it was done.
Yeah. Yeah. So that it really laid the framework to continue and to get trilogies of every character and another Avengers and this and that, whatever.
Now, Phase 2 is where things get weird. Because they're riding off the high of Avengers.
They are.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
The world changed after this. You know, this is...
they have the green light to just...
They have the green light to do whatever now. So now we're just throwing in random villains like Malekith and Aldrich Killian and fucking Alexander Pierce and like
Yellow
just
Jacket.
random people.
Yeah.
Like random people that are like... Yeah, even people that aren't villains that they made into villains. Like,
right.
So...
I do think, though, Phase 2 started off with a bang. I really like Iron Man 3.
I think it gets way too much hate.
It gets way too much hate. I will say the one thing that people say about this movie, and it is a valid point, this is the least consequential MCU movie that we get probably the rest of the way through. Like, this movie has really no repercussions on the future of the MCU.
How do you mean?
I mean, the plot line of this movie doesn't deter the plot of any of these other movies. Like, in every movie in Phase 2, pretty much, except for... No, even Dark World, I would say. Like, Iron Man 3 doesn't do anything for the MCU story. It's just kind of a self-contained...
I mean, because of the fact that at the end of the movie, Tony Stark gets his heart light removed.
Yeah, but that's a fairly minor addition to the overall story. You know what I mean? Like, it is... Like, yes.
I mean, I guess, but if you're talking about, like, the overarching story for Iron Man himself, which from there to Endgame...
Yeah.
Because I guess, like... Because the light was killing him.
Yeah.
The chest piece, whatever. Yeah. What do you call it? Like
arc reactor?
Yeah, thank you. Jesus, I could not think of the name.
I got you, bro. Don't worry.
The arc reactor was killing him.
Yeah.
You know, and he was trying to find a way to live with it, and it was just causing more problems and whatever. So him getting rid of it is like him moving on past that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do think that
this movie also does a great job directing by Shane Black. Peak. I also think this movie integrates the action into the story very well. Like, there's a scene at the end where he's like, you know, like
the
ready
house
for
call.
his suit to get there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The house call protocol is a very good scene with all of his suits and all of his armor and everything. That was really good.
And then he's in
Aldrich Killian is mid as a villain.
And
Mandarin.
And Mandarin. Now, I'm not going against
I
the
did
comics.
not like the fact that I had to wait like 10 years for a good, solid Mandarin to pop up in the MCU, and it wasn't even against Iron Man. Like, the Mandarin is like the Iron Man villain.
Yeah,
he really is. Like, he's Iron Man's Red Skull. Yeah. Like, he's the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and alcohol, but I guess we're not going to talk about that. Sorry.
Damn.
My fault, Tony. I'll put it in...
Alcohol and heart problems. Great comic book movie.
I'll put it in pretty good. I'll put it in the same tier as First Avenger. I think that's probably where it belongs.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'm not as nice as I was yesterday about it. I think maybe I had a night to sleep on it, and I maybe don't love it.
I mean, I do like all the stuff with Harley as well. The young boy.
Yeah, because the one thing that pisses me off the most about this movie, and I'm going to go through this quick. Tony Stark would never give his location to a terrorist and then not allow Pepper to leave the house when that terrorist is sending missiles at his mansion.
Actually, I kind of think the opposite.
He is not that stupid.
He's not that... No, you're right. He's not that stupid, but he is that much of an egomaniac. It's the fact of him being like, I am Iron Man, you're the biggest terrorist in the world, come at me. Like, that is 100%.
But we've gotten, at this point in the MCU, we've gotten 2 Iron Man movies and an Avenger movie for him to work through some of that. Like, I don't know. That part I never liked. And again, the villains suck. The Iron Man, this is the best, I think, Tony Stark stuff that we get for a while.
Yeah, the guy from Bedtime Stories gets super hot and then like kills people like that way. And then blows up at the end.
Type shit. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's nothing crazy.
Right. Thor the
Dark World. You won't let me put this in ass, will you?
No. Sorry. That's not that bad.
And I can't convince you to put it in garbage. Lowest, I mean, absolute highest I would go is No Bueno. I really despise this movie. I don't think it's good. I think it's
despise is such a strong word.
I think it's boring. I think it's a bottom 5 MCU movie. I think it's boring. I think the villain.
I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I know I'm in the minority.
Yeah.
Of people that like this movie, but I didn't think because when I was a kid, I don't think I actually ever really watched this movie all the way through. Mm-hmm. Like I just seen like bits and pieces, and everyone was just like, "It's bad, it's bad, it's bad." So I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess it's just not a great movie." So I did rewatch it, and I was like, "Okay, this is not nearly as bad as everyone fucking said it was. Like it's not so terrible that it like ruins the MCU. It's not that bad." Because like really Curse was done pretty cool. Malekith was pretty cool. Like the death of his mother was good.
Death of his mom was good. I like
the Loki stuff with him and Loki and like them
especially when Chris Evans cameos when he transforms.
Yes, that too. Yeah. With Loki, like mourning his mother after he like yelled at her. Yeah, and basically said like, "You're not my family." Whatever. Yeah. You're not my mom. Yeah. Get out my mom. Yeah. So that whole thing, but. And then like them fighting about who loved her more, and then Thor's like, "It doesn't matter, like we're brothers." Like you know, like I just that type of stuff I like, and the not so plot twist at the end where Loki dies and then he's like not dead because you're like, oh, okay, like yeah,
Loki died like 38 times in the MCU,
right?
It's kind of yeah,
but
no bueno
is the lowest. I'll let you put it in.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Hot take. I don't like the suit in this movie.
No. But it's better than Avengers.
Whoa.
The Avengers suit's bad. Nope. That's not even a hot take.
Pause.
That is not even a hot take.
The first event, you're talking about the first Avengers movie.
Avengers 1 is the worst Captain America suit.
No. This one is the worst Captain America suit.
Nope.
Okay.
Dude, it looks like he's wearing a fucking onesie in Avengers, dog.
That's the point. It's supposed to look stupid.
Yeah, but he's got like military fucking padding and shit in these two movies, and then in Avengers he's wearing a fucking onesie from Walmart, dog. Like, no. Nope.
Okay. That was insane. Anyways.
That's not insane. I feel like most people agree with that. That's not that big of a
I don't think I've ever met somebody who has shit on the Avengers Captain America suit.
It's the worst Captain America suit.
It's this one. This one looks stupid.
This is just the Secret Avengers / like Secret Wars suit. That's like, and it's not even that bad. It's just
this was, if you've ever wondered why the Russo brothers continue to just get Marvel movies.
Yeah, you also wonder why they're both making $20 million. They're
making $80 more trillion per movie. Yeah, this is why right here. Yeah. No, this movie's great.
Actually, you can watch this in our last episode too. But literally, they're making what $20 billion each film they're coming back for.
40 million, but 20 for both. If you do it, if they split it evenly.
Yeah. No, I mean like 40 million per film or 20 million per film, but 40
million per film. But there's two of them, so it's probably 20 million per person per film.
So $80 million in total. This is why, though. The elevator scene, Arnim Zola.
Yes, dude.
Like an actually good version of Arnim Zola. Bucky
is so, dude. I remember being a kid. I don't know if you have this experience. I remember being a kid and seeing like a trailer for this movie, and one of the last scenes of the trailer is when he throws and he
catches it, and you're like, oh! Who is the dude that just caught Captain America? You can do that? What the fuck?
The coolest thing ever. And the movie absolutely lived up to the hype.
And that's the thing that I think that the Russo brothers knew that was going to make a name for Bucky.
Yeah.
He's the dude that caught Captain America's shield, bro.
Like, watch this shit, bro. Feige, check this shit out.
You can do that, dude? Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I will say, maybe this is another hot take. This is the best Black Widow movie.
Nope. I hate her in this movie.
You hate her?
No, I won't say hate her, but like...
You don't like her in this movie?
I don't think she's great in this movie. Because she's super fucking annoying. And she's constantly... Like, she's the comic relief of this movie. Black Widow is the comic relief of this movie.
The main character, Steve Rogers, Sharon Carter, and Nick Fury. I mean, not a lot of personality to go around there. No offense.
But you're making Black Widow the comic relief of all people?
I didn't mind that in this movie. I thought it was good.
Nah. And the mop top hair is crazy as well. Anyway.
Facts.
Anyway.
Although them kissing is still one of my favorite scenes because he's like when he was like, I've had it. My last kiss was like 1945 or something.
She was like, was that your last kiss since 1947 or whatever?
Yeah, that was funny.
I'll give you that. But like, funny. There's just parts of it where like she makes a joke. Like, okay, like when she lets Batroc the Leaper get away, also dub fucking out of the blue reference there, and also casting a fucking real MMA fighter to be the Leaper.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That was cool.
But when she lets him get away because she's doing something else, and she's like, that one might have been on me. While they're like sitting in a room that just got blown up. Or like when they're clearing the ship and she's trying to get him a date, like, bro, stop. You're being fucking annoying as shit. Like, you're being annoying as fuck.
I don't know. I love her in this movie.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, come on now. It's just... We don't even need to
like peak. Come on,
James Gunn. James Gunn took nobody on planet Earth knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before this movie, and now everybody, like when my mom is talking to me about Rocket Raccoon, that's how you know this movie is fucking banger. Mm-hmm. Like this movie needed to hit.
Like I remember I didn't even watch this movie because I was like, who the fuck are the Guardians? Like that looks so fucking stupid. But then like I finally actually watched the movie and I was like, oh my god,
damn, that shit was.
Oh my god,
Chris Pratt. I mean, the casting amazing.
Yeah,
I will say
Bradley Cooper, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah,
you know, maybe not Vin Diesel because he's fucking.
Yeah,
3-word wonder over here.
Yeah.
And Dave Bautista,
$100 million to say I am Groot. That's crazy. And we are family, bro. What's with Vin Diesel and these 3-word like catchphrases, dude?
We are Groot. Yeah,
we are Groot. I am
like,
Groot.
Yeah,
we are family.
Yeah,
maybe that's all the vocab words he knows. Anyways,
facts. All he gets paid for in his contract.
Yeah, right.
But his peak. Like, come on. What else do you need? Really great villain. The Collector was a really fun part.
By the way, really important stuff with the Infinity Stones in this movie. The Power Stone. Yeah,
this one was a really big push with the whole Thanos narrative in this movie.
They were really ballsy to put all this major exposition into a Guardians of the Galaxy movie when the Guardians were nobody.
It would make the most sense, though. Like, that's why they did it.
But it's also like, there was no guarantee that this movie was going to hit. And they're putting a lot of their major plot line in this movie. It worked out beautifully, but it was very ballsy. Like, they didn't put a lot of that in as much in the Avengers or like an Iron Man movie. They didn't. And again, it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, because like...
But it's ballsy. Yeah. And I
because now we get this exposition, so we know who Thanos is. We know what he wants, what he's trying to get.
We see the Power Stone in action.
By the time we get to Infinity War...
Yeah.
And where he's actually starting to have a big play...
Yeah. We know
what's going on.
Exactly.
And it's not some weird thing with the Avengers where... Whatever. Like...
Yeah,
and we knew about Thanos a little bit because Loki was working for him in the first one.
Yeah, but we kind of got like he's a big threat, but we don't really have.
I remember that end credit scene.
At least in the MCU,
I remember that end credit scene where he turns around and you just see his like weird chin.
Yeah.
I remember being like, "Who the fuck is that? Like, who the hell?"
That's
because I remember like as a kid, I remember like Ultron.
Yeah.
And Doom and like people like that. But whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of Ultron,
Avengers Age of Ultron.
This is my most disappointing Marvel movie.
This is the worst Avengers film.
Pretty comfortably the worst Avengers film.
It's the weakest. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad, but it
doesn't.
It pales in comparison.
It pales in comparison to the rest. Yes.
I'll put it in mid. Like I seriously am that. Ultron was great. James Spader's voice is great, but there's not enough Ultron in this movie. There's not enough.
And the fact of that you're coming off of the comic of Age of Ultron, which was a huge event.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
I made this point to him for years, but it's kind of funny because in the Age of Ultron comic, they send Wolverine back in time to kill Hank Pym, and that's how
from inventing Ultron. Yeah.
And then in Days of Future Past, the movie, that's what they basically did. So we basically got the two halves of Age of Ultron.
And Days of Future Past came out the same year.
In the same year.
And they took the Age of Ultron storyline from that movie and put it into...
Because in the X-Men comics, if I'm not mistaken, instead of Logan getting sent back to kill the Sentinel or to stop the Sentinels, it was Katie Pryde.
I don't even know that.
That's what I think. So I literally think both movies took the Age of Ultron story, kind of split it in half, took two halves.
I'm trying to read more Marvel currently, so I actually just finished Civil War last night. We'll get to that soon.
Yeah, we will get to that soon. Actually, we'll get to that in two movies.
Yeah, but this one is yeah. I mean,
there was a lot of
I
so
will
much
agree.
potential
Like
in this movie.
Ultron is great. He's amazing.
Yes,
great. Honestly,
I'm still waiting for him to come back. I'm still waiting for him to come back.
Top 3 villains of the MCU, honestly, comfortably.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Thanos, Killmonger, him.
Loki? You're not putting Loki ahead of Ultron?
In top 5, but then Loki turns into a hero. So,
all right, I guess.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I guess. Yeah, no, it's mid.
But like,
they also tried to shove way too much shit in this movie. Like in this movie, we got Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
I don't
and
like
Ultron
that Quicksilver
and Vision
dies because
like
Quicksilver could have been such a great.
Yeah, and I know there was contractual issues with Fox, but
anyway, Ant-Man 1.
Ant-Man's pretty good.
I like Ant-Man.
Yeah, I don't have now it devolves very quickly after the first Ant-Man.
I'm gonna honestly go ahead and say this is a great comic book movie. I'm gonna put this our first great comic book movie comfortably, because I think that is the case. It is a solid, genuinely good comic book film.
In my opinion, I'll give you great. The villain's a little weak to be great comic book movie, but I smell what The Rock's cooking a little bit on this one.
Like, there's just
I get where you're coming from.
We're gonna go ahead and put in great just because it's just a solid comic book film.
Yeah.
You know?
Who directed this one?
Peyton Reed.
Oh, Peyton Reed, that's right.
Peyton Reed did all 3, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
What happened to him? Jeez Louise. Anyways, yeah, this movie's good. It's a really good introduction. Paul Rudd is fantastic in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Love the Hank Pym stuff.
Like when he's in the Baskin Robbins and he's like, guy's like, I'll just do like, he keeps saying shit that's like not from Baskin Robbins, and he's like, hey, Darcy, can you take care of this idiot? Thanks. Like walks away.
Dude, no, my favorite part is later in that scene when he's getting fired and his boss is like, man, you really stuck it to those rich guys.
Yeah,
like, oh, we're good? Oh, no, dude, you're absolutely fired.
Yeah, no, you're like 100% you're fired. Like,
and he's like, feel free to take a
feel free to take one of those mango flasks, and I'll pretend I never see you. Yeah. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah.
No, but this is a good movie. Again, love the Hank Pym stuff. Love the flashbacks of him like on the airplane.
Yeah, dude.
Villain, Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jacket's not great, but
you mean MODOK? We mean MODOK?
Don't, dude.
Sorry.
Literally don't.
Sorry. Anyways.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So
I'd say pretty good. You say great.
I'm gonna say great.
I'll reason what you.
I've put all of yours, I think, in the same.
Every great marriage has compromise.
Exactly,
and that's what we're doing right here.
Exactly.
Overall thoughts on Phase 2.
Thoughts on Phase 2? Solid.
Yeah. Solid.
The lows are low, but the highs are really high.
Yeah. Guardians. Yeah. There's a big disparity here, but you get Winter Soldier, you get Guardians.
I mean,
7 out of 10.
Solid set, because even Ant-Man's like just a great boost out there. That's a high for me, at least. So
yeah, that's fair.
All right, Captain America: Civil War.
So I'm gonna let you start because you just read the Civil War comic, and I have read it. I've
seen the movie before I read the comic.
Yes, I was the opposite.
I would have read this in middle school when he did.
Yeah,
but my librarian cut me off from reading comic books in middle school. So instead of reading Civil War, I read Age of Ultron. So I knew what that one was going into it. Civil War. I still love it because I view them as two very different things. But however, because for years since we've been friends, you've always been like, had this weird like
animosity towards
this movie.
Yeah.
And I've always been like, what the fuck is your problem?
Like,
what's the deal?
Yeah. And I was like, bro, I've read the comic.
And now I get, if you're coming off of the comic, knowing everything that happens in that book, and then coming into this movie that is so dumbed down, I get it.
Yep.
I still don't disagree. I still don't agree with it, though.
Not only the comic, but also, you ever played Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that shit does it well, too. So, again, maybe it's not fair. Maybe I'm comparing apples to oranges. I
really do think you go. Because, I mean, they would have made it the traditional Civil War if they had the rights to the Fantastic Four and the because the Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man are two very key players in the story.
Absolutely,
without them, you don't have the book at all.
Mr. Fantastic is a huge player.
Yeah,
Spider-Man turns the tide of the whole thing.
Yeah, Spider-Man is a big deal in the book.
Turns the tide of the whole
thing. I mean, Daredevil is too. Like Daredevil was supposed to be in this movie.
Yeah.
but that was like when the whole Netflix stuff was still going on.
Yeah.
And like they were doing the weird.
Again, this is kind of an example of Marvel being handcuffed. Like
they couldn't do a whole. Like the same thing with Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
If they had the rights to everybody, they would have done Age of Ultron correctly.
Yeah, with Hank.
With Hank Pym and Wolverine and everybody.
One non-comic complaint I do have about this movie, and I brought this up to you, and this is kind of funny. I've thought of this for years. The scene when they're in the conference room. And Thunderbolt Ross is giving him the presentation on this is why we need the Sokovia Accords because blah, 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 right? He shows them the scene from the Avengers. Hey, buddy, the government sent a nuke to New York City and Iron Man threw it in space. That doesn't count. Number 2, S.H.I.E.L.D. got overtaken by Hydra and the whole government was going to be corrupted. And Captain America, on his own, saved the whole world. So that doesn't count either. Number 3, Ultron. Okay, that one's their fault. And then number 4, they show the scene in the beginning of Civil War where Wanda accidentally blows up that part of the building. Well, yeah, oopsie, right? But at the same time, whoops. At the same time,
imagine if that's what Screwball said after he fucking.
Oh God. But at the same time, if they weren't there, the casualties would have been way higher.
Yeah.
So
you know what else to say with your Avengers 1 argument? The Avengers were called in to fix the fuck up that S.H.I.E.L.D. made.
Yeah, because they lost the Tesseract.
Yeah.
So three out of his 4 points make zero fucking sense.
Yeah.
If they would have hammered the Ultron thing, I'd have been like, okay, you got me. You got me. And the scene with the lady meeting Tony by the elevator, like, you killed my son, bro. That shit hit.
Yeah.
That shit hit.
Yeah.
But again, this movie's got really, really high highs. But
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah,
solid. It's a good movie.
Before you read that comic, you would have put that in.
I probably would have. Right. Honestly, I probably would
because it knocks it down a half a point to a point. It really does. It knocks it
Some
down.
parts of it do because there's a lot of like. Bill Foster is a big thing in the comics, and he's not introduced till Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like there are so many different levels. As like, again, it's apples to oranges. Like
it is.
It's just. Yeah, I like this movie because it's a good. I view it as like Avengers 2.5.
Yeah,
because that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah,
and I also just see it as like introduction to Black Panther, and we get the first time we get Spider-Man in a movie. Yeah. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
I love this movie. This has always been one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't have a lot of big complaints about this movie, but I also don't have a lot of big wins for this movie. Like Civil War, this movie is much more in the middle of Civil War. Like Civil War has really great, bad. I think Doctor Strange kind of in that middle ground where none of it is as high as Civil War, but none of it is bad enough.
Here's my thing with Civil War is that I like it because it's its own thing. It's not MCU. It's not very MCU to the point where Ant-Man is talking about Tony Stark and they're breaking into
the Avengers. About Doctor Strange?
Yes, but I'm saying like Doctor Strange isn't breaking into the Avengers compound like in Ant-Man, right?
Yes, yeah.
You know, or it's just Doctor Strange being separate from the rest of the MCU because that's how it is in the comics.
Yeah.
And that's how he always has been. I do think the villain is very forgettable. It suffers greatly from that.
Yeah. Dormammu. I do like the scene with Dormammu.
Dormammu's great.
Yeah, Dormammu was good at the end. And it was a very unique conclusion. It wasn't.
And I do like that they've been building up this Dormammu threat to be Doctor Strange's Thanos.
Yeah.
So to say.
Yeah.
Like it's I like that.
I do like how also the way he defeats Dormammu is not like a CGI magic fight. It's
just him using his wits. He's using his wits because he knows he can't beat him directly. So he has to.
He literally annoys the fuck out of him.
That's how he gets him to concede. Like
it's so funny.
Like, listen, bro, I can literally do this forever.
I can do this all day. That's the wrong Marvel character.
We are stuck in a literal time loop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
balls in your court.
Yeah. All right. We can keep doing this for all of eternity, or you can just fuck off. Like it's
like fuck.
He's like, bro, I'm gonna put it in great comic book movie because it's just a solid comic book movie.
I'll throw you pretty good, but I'll give you great. I mean,
because it's just its own thing.
We're not gonna be that nice about the next Doctor Strange movie, so
facts. So
yeah, no. Okay. Next we have Guardians Volume 2. So the question of these Guardians movies is not what tier to put them in; it's what order to arrange them between the three.
I mean, we're not doing that.
No, but I'm saying in general. Like, it's not like what tier are these movies? It's like, oh yeah, what part
I
of the
love
tier
Guardians 2 personally the best out of the three because it's got like a very deep meaning to me personally.
Yeah.
So I love this movie, and I also just love the soundtrack of this movie. This one has the best soundtrack in my opinion.
Yeah. Might have the best villain as well.
Best villain.
Ego is really
just
really
because
strong,
of how deep it is.
Yeah.
You know?
The scene when they're like, I'm sorry I had to put that tumor in her brain. And then, dude, and you get like the zoom in on Star-Lord. Literal fucking chills. Literally chills.
And then when he starts shooting him, you're like, fucking get down! Fuck him! Yeah, like, come on. Come on. It's just, I love this movie so much. It's got a very deep personal meaning to me personally. So, like, if I was to put them in order, it'd be probably 2, 1, 3. But they're all great.
But even calling 3 the third best, it's like, 3's like also.
They're like here. It's like it's right here. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. So,
okay.
Anyway,
this is one. Where are you putting Spider-Man Homecoming? Because we're going to have different opinions.
Pretty good.
Putting great. It's better than Ant-Man.
If it didn't have all of the fucking Iron Man shit in it.
Okay. The Iron Boy Jr. stuff is annoying.
Yes.
Straight up.
And they spend so much time in these movies focusing on it. This one is the least, I guess.
They do let him be Peter, though. Like, at the end, when he gets his suit taken away and he has to just resolve to his wits and his own ability.
Yes, and I love that. That's
let
great.
him be Spider-Man.
That's absolutely great, and that's like the redeeming quality of this movie. And I would put it in a great comic book movie if that had happened halfway through the film.
This also is the best high school
Spider-Man film. Yeah.
Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton is a good Vulture. Mm-hmm. I understand he's teaming up with Morbius now, so let's go. Let's freaking go. Still haven't seen Morbius. Thank the good Lord. But no, this
also
movie.
Fuck Jared Leto for ruining Tron. Also, my like all-time favorite fucking movie of all time. You know,
and Joker.
Go ahead and go fuck yourself, buddy.
This is a great comic book movie. John Watts' style in this movie, like but let's go.
John Watts is like the whole thing falls apart in the second one. Even
Far From Home,
Spider-Man in Spider-Man 4. Tom Holland Spider-Man needs a different director, like desperately.
Oh, it's getting one. John Watts not going back.
I know. Thank God.
Yeah. I agree that it got old. In this movie, though, it's really good.
Yes.
In this movie, it's really good. Zendaya is good. I don't like the whole MJ, not Mary Jane shit. That always
come on.
annoys me.
Like, just for real.
Just say Mary Jane.
Just say it's Mary Jane.
I know
you can race swap Mary Jane. It's not that big of a deal.
Nobody cares.
When you say MJ, that's who we think the character is. So come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say pretty good.
Put it in great. Negotiate with me a little bit. I gave you Ant-Man and Doctor Strange.
I gave you the rest of these.
Give me Spider-Man. I can go on an hour tangent why I think this movie is really good. It is really good.
And I can go on an hour tangent why I think it's lackluster. This is not nearly as bad as Far From Home, though.
Oh, God, we're going to fucking go to blows on that one. Anyways, Thor Ragnarok. Where are we at here? We're at, Thor Ragnarok.
I'm going to say great.
Yeah.
Comic book movie.
I agree with that. It's great.
It's a solid movie. I do think that they wasted World War Hulk. World War Hulk deserved its own movie.
Yeah.
It's in and of itself.
It's not quite that peak Marvel, that top tier, but it's close.
If you want, I don't know. That's the only thing that a lot of people really don't like about this movie is that they 100% wasted one of the greatest of all time. Yeah. Fucking Planet Hulk and World War Hulk are two of the greatest Hulk stories in general, but just also Marvel stories.
This movie did really well. This is the perfect balance of Thor's comedy. This is the perfect blend of Taika Waititi's style in an MCU movie. Mm-hmm. They completely fall on their ass apart, in the next movie, but in the next Thor movie, in this movie, it works. It's balanced out. Mm-hmm. It's perfectly entertaining.
Because Taika pulls in a lot of deep moments that really hit.
Yes,
and then he also pulls in a lot of moments that are just really funny and they're lighthearted and
when
whatever.
He's in the room and he hits the dodgeball and it's like that's just funny. Mm-hmm. Also, hey, he's a friend from work.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
and that actually was a little behind the scenes there. Chris Hemsworth said that was actually given to him by a Make-A-Wish kid that was visiting the set.
Super cool.
Some kid was like, you should say he's a friend from work, and he put it in the film, and they kept it in.
Super cool. Super wholesome.
Solid.
You get 100 points for wholesome. Yeah. Great movie.
And the Hulk and Thor fight is actually really good. Like, it's solid.
Yeah. I also love how this movie ends 5 minutes before Infinity War begins. Or like...
Yes. Right.
Like,
yeah.
Ends...
This one was the one where we're like, oh shit, that's Infinity War. Like, oh fuck, you know?
Really, really good. Really, really good movie. I like that movie a lot. Next, we got Black Panther.
I'm going to go ahead and say peak here.
Yeah, it's peak. Like, it's peak.
Black Panther is
this
fucking amazing.
Killmonger, there needs no other introduction. It's just, he's that guy.
Killmonger, M'Baku, T'Challa, T'Chaka.
Shuri's good.
Everyone.
Angela
Just
Bassett.
this whole movie.
Yeah, this whole movie is really, really good. The soundtrack.
And even the part where like... Even the part... I like this movie because T'Challa is... Thanks for copyrighting the video, buddy.
I don't think I hit the note like SZA did, so I think we're fine. The algorithm will pick it up.
I think that this movie is great because T'Challa is so comfortable being the Black Panther, and it's this whole whatever. But then something from it's like the sins of my father type thing, the sins of the father.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because his dad did that way back when. Now he created an enemy that's going to kill everything and destroy everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's great.
Also, this is a random note. Maybe you agree. I feel like this is the most like, if you're watching like FX or whatever, or if you're like at a restaurant, this is the Marvel movie that gets played the most. Like, I have seen this movie on screen at a restaurant or like a gym like 100 times. It feels like. Just the other day, I was at the gym. Saw this movie on one of the screens. I was like, oh my gosh. Soundtrack amazing. Really, really good story. Ryan Coogler, you are a dog. This movie is very well directed.
Right, yeah. This kickstarted Ryan Coogler's career, and it also started the relationship that gave us Creed 3.
Yeah,
which is fucking peak movie.
Peak. Not a lot of bad things to say about this movie.
Yeah, honestly, just Creed in general. Actually,
one negative note. I don't like how they spend like 15 minutes trying to convince us that T'Challa died. Like, the movie's like, no, he's dead. He's really dead. We're like, yeah, okay, right, yeah, he's not dead.
Yeah. How long is the rest of this movie?
Yeah,
okay,
right,
yeah, for sure.
We're good. Like, they kind of like milk that a little too much, but that's a very minor complaint. Next, we have
it would have been hard if they would have gave us Shuri Panther in this one. Like, she's the one that stops Killmonger, and then T'Challa pops in and like fucking Infinity War, like at the end.
That would have been insane.
Bro, could you imagine?
He boom bang, and you're like, what? That'd be pretty nuts.
Okay.
Next, we have Avengers: Infinity War. I don't know if you ever heard of this movie. Maybe I don't think you've seen. I don't know if I've seen it or not. Only 500 fucking times. Avengers: Infinity War.
I saw this movie on vacation, and this movie actually gave me a literal anxiety attack because I was like, oh my god, all my superheroes just fucking died.
Dude, that was the best part, to see this movie with like MCU diehards. They'll be like, wait, did Spider-Man just die?
And I'm like, I knew Endgame was coming and all that, but I was like, what the fuck just like what just happened?
You're literally leaving the theater like,
no, like that. Like, I remember I was like genuinely speechless. My parents were like, did you like it? And I was like,
stop talking.
Like, you know, like the Homelander meme where like his ears are ringing in the theater. That's me. Like, I'm just.
Well, and then what this movie did, and this is the definition of like, if you were there, you were there. I fucked that up so bad.
If you were there, you were there for sure, bro.
This is the definition of like, you just had to be there.
Thank you. There you go.
Like, the 6-7 months after this movie came out, we didn't even know what Endgame was going to be cause. We just knew it was another.
It was just Avengers. It was just Avengers 5.
And then we were like, 4.
Well, actually, and then we were like, it was at first it was Avengers: Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, but then we knew they were going to change the name, and then we were also like, how the fuck are they going to defeat Thanos? Because Thanos is just like, oh yeah, you're done. Infinity
War is goated, so obviously we're putting it. A lot of people actually say they like this one more than Endgame, which I can see.
It's
because
a better movie than Endgame.
This movie had the villain win.
Yeah,
and that's like a big deal. Like, the villain
retired. Like,
the villain won. The villain won so hard that he literally turned to a life of farming.
He was like, bro, I'm good.
And
you want to talk about comics to movie? That scene in the comic, or that page in the comics of him just kicking it on the ranch, hard as hell.
Well, also in the comics, I mean, again, you want to talk about something that was a way bigger thing in the comics, but in the comics, fucking like Thanos doesn't just kill half the universe. He kills the entire universe. He kills everything.
Yeah. To impress a bad bitch. Guys.
Death.
Don't let the emo goth girl get to you, all right? It got to Thanos, bro, and we lost billions of people, all right? All right. Just because she's got a septum ring and some tattoos.
Nah, bro.
Eli, I'm talking to you,
That's
dog.
crazy,
I'm
dude.
talking to you, Eli.
That's crazy.
Don't let him get to you, dude.
If a goth baddie approached me wearing a cloak and was like,
pale as hell,
kill the universe, I'd be like, shit, all right.
Listen, we gonna date. You got to find these 5 rocks and then just snap everybody out of existence, and then I'll go on a date with you. A lot of you would fold in that situation. A lot of you would fold.
I think that's a testament to the times, honestly. Like,
talk about stories that transcend time.
Yeah, no,
that's
honestly.
just that works regardless of what time period.
Honestly, that's like a great just synopsis of the movie. Thanos fell for a bad bitch. He fell for an emo bitch. Yeah, like
that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so that one is actually a bit. No, it's not. Okay, Ant-Man and the Wasp is after this one.
Oh, ass. That movie fucking sucks.
I'll give you ass.
The end credit scene is cool, but the movie's ass, dude. Villain is terrible. Ghost is so bad.
Bill Foster was cool to see. Egghead was cool to see. Like, you know, hardcore Marvel people was cool. I did like the dynamic of like everyone being super pissed at Scott because he stole their suit.
Yeah.
And went to Germany with Captain America just because Captain America was like,
which is the most Ant-Man thing to do.
Right. Ever. Like, he didn't tell anybody. He just left. Because even while watching Civil War for the first... while watching Civil War for the first time, I remember being like... What did the rest... Like,
he's just happy to be there.
What did the rest of them think about this?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You know?
Hank Pym, yeah.
I'll give you ass, though. It's not great.
No, it's really bad.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Endgame. Speaking of not great, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, man, I don't... Yesterday...
There's so many things where this movie could have been good.
Yesterday...
And then in, like, this last half of the movie, it just completely falls apart.
Yesterday, you were being really mean to this movie, and I tried to defend it and think of something good to say about it, and I like, was grasping at straws. So, yeah, you could throw it an ass. Yeah, you could throw it an ass. It's not crazy. Good. It's so crazy to me that in between Infinity War and Endgame, they had 2 huge misses, and it didn't affect them at all. They just didn't give
because everyone was just like, "Fuck these movies, get to Endgame."
Yeah,
like
when
literally,
is Endgame?
It didn't matter. I remember being like, "Okay, Ant-Man's coming out, cool," but this one's a prequel to Endgame. This one's before Infinity War. Okay,
yeah,
and then Captain Marvel. Oh, that's in way back in the 90s. Okay, who gives a fuck? Yeah. And then it's like Endgame. When's Endgame? Like, okay, finally, like it's coming out. You know, like it was
the worst. Just if you want to summarize this movie in one plot point. Nick Fury loses his eye.
It's feminism Top Gun.
Oh, we're done. We're on Twitter right now, actually, dude. No,
it's female Top Gun.
Nick Fury loses his eye to a cat,
and it's not. Yeah.
Come on,
really, dude. You're gonna set up that. The Russos literally did. That was a layup in Winter Soldier. It was a layup.
Bro lobbed that shit up to LeBron James and he missed the net.
Yeah,
didn't even hit the rim. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
That was a layup, and they just he grabbed that shit and threw it over the backboard. Like it was.
Imagine being the Russo brothers and being like, "Oh yeah, Captain Marvel." You did what?
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
He lost his eye. How?
Yeah.
I wonder what the Russo brothers were thinking of how he lost his eye.
They're probably like, we gotta direct every fucking movie. Like this shit. What are these guys doing?
So yeah, I mean, it's not good. So
yeah, Endgame, it was all right.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Just the greatest,
just the greatest theatrical
culmination of
ever. Yeah,
comic book films of all time. You know?
Yeah, no.
I remember Endgame. Endgame is the second greatest theatrical experience for me. I feel like if me and you were closer friends, back then we would have seen it together.
I did not see Endgame with JaCoby. But it's
we also like just met when this movie came out.
Yeah, we were
just about to meet.
Yeah, we were just starting to become friends.
We didn't see this movie together, but
I've never needed to change my underwear more than once during a movie, except for this one.
Wow. Okay.
Can I say that on camera? Can I say that on camera? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. For sure, dude. Yeah. You're so lucky we don't have our age demographic it bottoms out at 17 or 18. It bottoms out at 18.
Yeah. I like this movie.
I mean, this movie just gave us everything that we've been wanting for years. Finally, after 10 years of Marvel films, Captain America said Avengers Assemble. He picked up Mjolnir.
I had been saying that, and I don't have any witnesses. I had been saying that for fucking years.
Come on.
In Ultron, I was like, man, that's really dumb. He should be able to pick that up. And going back, and you look at that scene, and he's purposely... Peak. Definition of peak.
I actually just saw a really cool theory today on TikTok saying that, I'll cut this really brief, but the reason that he didn't pick up the hammer in Age of Ultron is because he genuinely couldn't. Is that Mjolnir felt that he could probably do it at some point, but in Age of Ultron, when Scarlet Witch affects his mind, his biggest fear is peace, because he feels that peace
would make him basically
he's like nothing without war. Yeah, right? Yeah. So in Infinity War, he loses for the first time because, I mean, he wasn't around in World War II.
Yeah.
You know, and or anything. So he woke up and whatever, and like every war that he's fought in, he's won.
Yeah.
So he loses in Infinity War for the first time, and through that guilt, he's no longer Captain America. He is just Steve Rogers trying to do the right thing.
I kind of fuck with that.
And when you get to Endgame, it's like he's not fighting in fear of peace. He's fighting for peace.
I also see that, and I also see the one where it's like he purposely didn't lift it up because he didn't want to hurt Thor's
I like ego. That one too.
I like that one.
I like that one, but I like this Endgame one that I heard today too. Like the whole thing about I like that one too. Anyway.
As we're wrapping up Phase 3, we've been pretty incident free. I don't imagine that will continue with this one we're about to talk about. Spider-Man Far From Home.
I have a lot to say about this movie. I know you like this movie a lot, so I'll let you say the good.
The good. Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Man, what the fuck?
Man, I don't want to talk to you. Sorry.
We have to put that in.
We have to put seven.
We have to put that in.
Yeah, I'm really good copyrighted. Tom Holland is good. Mysterio has a lot of really cool scenes. His motivation is a bit suspect.
Oh, really?
I didn't say anything. The scenes of him like warping Peter's mind, really cool.
Being Mysterio.
Yeah. The whole drones thing, I think, is a really cool modern take.
I do too.
On Mysterio.
I do too.
Jake Gyllenhaal plays him well.
Yes.
I also like I'm trying to say the things that you're gonna say. I don't necessarily agree with your points.
He's trying to catch my points.
I am. I'm trying to like.
You're forgetting a big one.
I know I am, but it's hard because your point, like the points you make.
I'll go ahead and say them.
You're not wrong, but I think you're too mean. But go ahead. Go ahead and say why.
I got really heated about this yesterday, but since I already got heated about it, I'm not going to get as heated about it today. Right. But cut to 5 seconds, and I'm going to be yelling about this. Mysterio is great. Truly, he's great.
Yeah.
But why the fuck is he an Iron Man villain? Like, really?
Yeah.
And like, what is with the barf thing? Like, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Jake Gyllenhaal plays him great. I love him as Mysterio. Mysterio's scenes are awesome. The drone thing, like you said, is also great. Like, but again, it's through Tony, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like my little stuff, right? So like Mysterio, okay. This movie also feels like one giant episode of Ultimate Spider-Man, the cartoon, which
I like that. I like that.
Isn't my favorite because that show wasn't the best. Wasn't the best.
Yeah.
It's probably the weakest out of all.
Spectacular for life.
Spectacular all the way. Spectacular in 90s.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
The big one though. Why in the holy hell would Spider-Man of all people take a fucking vacation?
Yeah, and it really doesn't make sense that after all these guys had blipped and missed their families and friends for 5 years, they're like, you know what? Let's go on
Iron
vacation.
Man is dead. Captain America's retired.
Old as hell.
Thor is gone.
Yeah.
Black Widow's dead.
Yep.
The Hulk is MIA at the moment.
Yeah.
The Avengers are gone. And Spider-Man wants to take a vacation.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what?
And then he bitches about being Spider-Man.
The whole movie.
I don't like that. That's not good. That's not good.
It's not good at all. It's not faithful to Spider-Man in any way, shape, or form, because Peter Parker, I don't care what universe you're living in. Even when Spider-Man has the symbiote, when he's corrupted by the symbiote,
Yeah.
he is still Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There is no moment where he's like, I'm going to take a vacation.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the only time when Spider-Man has ever taken a vacation? When fucking Miles Morales was there and he felt comfortable with him leaving and was still calling in like every other day.
Let me provide one more last Hail Mary attempt to salvage this movie, and I think you'll agree with this point. The last scene of this movie is really, really good. When he gets his identity exposed, bro, he get caught in 4K. That shit is hard as hell. And the movie ends on a really good note. That you got to admit, that scene was cool as hell. And that informed 99% of the plot of No Way Home, which was, we can agree, is really good.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't like the Far From Home suit.
No, it's the worst one.
The
Homecoming was great.
The black and red is
I don't know why.
fucking garbage.
Yeah. Homecoming was a great suit. I like the light blue on Spider-Man. Quit putting Spider-Man in dark blue.
Why is he in black?
Quit putting him in dark blue black.
This movie puts him in red and black for no reason.
Put him in the fucking light blue.
Also, the shield suit or the spider monkey, whatever the fuck suit. Come on. Like,
Spider-Man has so many cool fucking suits.
I've never used that suit in Spider-Man.
No, never.
I've never used this suit or that other suit ever.
Put it in mid.
No bueno.
Will you give me mid?
Nope. Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, the suit. No, you're right. The suit really does piss me off. Yeah, honestly, I would fight you hard to put it in mid, but the suit is like the one that leans it to me, because I would put it in mid, but like I get what you're saying.
Like, come on, bro.
All right, we're gonna skip some of these TV shows.
Yeah,
so that ends.
There's a lot of TV shows here.
That ends phase 3.
Yes.
I mean, what are we thinking? 8.
I mean, it's got 2 of the best MCU films.
2 of
all
the best,
time.
And it's got Black Panther. I mean, yeah, like phase 3 was packed, absolutely packed.
So I'd say that this one's probably
8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah, I'll give it 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Phase 4, starting with Black Panther. Again, we'll speed on the TV
Black
shows.
Widow.
Thank you.
Black Widow. Okay, a lot of people don't like this movie.
We defend this movie more than most
because we saw this movie together.
Yes, we did,
and we loved it.
Yeah, good movie.
It was a great movie.
It is a little weird that this movie came out after she died. I get it. I'm not going to hold that against it.
Like, listen, if you're literally that fucking stupid to know, like, wait, she was dead.
Yeah.
But now she's not. What? Don't be fucking dumb.
What does it?
Like,
yeah.
For real.
But Taskmaster.
The main thing, Taskmaster bad. The whole thing with the guy at the end and like his pheromones.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That's weird.
That was a little weird.
But like the whole part with her breaking her own nose, that was cool as fuck.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was hard. Like the way to combat, that was cool.
Yeah. Yelena, it's great.
I like this movie. This movie's solid.
Yeah,
Red Guardian.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Bro, we go to a con. If we go to a con, can you please cosplay as Red Guardian?
You call me fat?
Yes.
Just no fucking hesitation, bro.
I'm calling you big bodied.
I'll show up as Red Guardian if you show up as Kingpin. Big bag, having ass.
I'm not that big.
So now you know how I feel, bro.
Let's put it in great. I'm gonna put it in great. No, good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Because I could rewatch it, but it's not like these movies. I'll rewatch any day of the week.
Yeah.
This movie,
Yeah. Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings.
This is pretty good as well.
Yeah.
There are things that I don't like. Aquafina.
And the last battle is kind of disappointing because it kind of turns into like a CGI like shit show. But there's so much cool action, and then you like get to this part and it's like
it's like the whole thing was just a giant Bruce Lee tribute movie. And then you get to the end and it's like
come on,
damn.
But
we saw this together too, right?
Yeah. I think Black Widow post, we've seen every movie together.
Yeah, I actually think that everything after Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow post.
We've seen together. one together.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Except for the one we haven't seen that we'll get to later.
The one movie that we both were like, we're not watching that. We'll get to it. Anyway.
The fight scene on the bus is
let's do pretty good.
Elite. Yeah,
pretty
this has
good.
the best fight choreography in the thing in the MCU.
Oh, we get into the big one.
Next we've got. I can't really read. Where are we at? Oh, Eternals. No, we're not getting.
This is our first
garbage.
The first garbage.
Garbage. To tell
Congratulations, Eternals! You have won.
You have won the honor.
The garbage award.
You have won the honor of the only movie in my life I've ever seen in theaters while doing homework. This movie.
No, that's not true.
I've never done homework in a movie
that's
theater.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
There's another one that we've seen together that you were also doing homework in.
Which one? Actually, remind me because I don't actually know.
You know what I'm like. You've done it before around me. It might have been a DC movie. I feel like it was. Was it the Batman?
No. I was locked in, bro. I was locked in on the Batman. It would have had to be a really bad movie for me to do homework because I fucking hate doing homework. Anyways,
yeah, this one was. I remember looking over and bro was dead ass filling out a fucking paper.
Yeah.
This movie's bad. Like,
let me say
really
something
bad.
nice. The super speed effect looks good, and actually, in general, the effects in this movie are really good.
This is also the beginning of Harry Styles' acting career as
and
Thanos' brother.
The beginning and the end.
Star Fox, I believe the character's name is.
Something fruity like that. I don't really know. Yeah, I mean,
damn.
Am I wrong? Something fruity. Also, the Blade tease. Where's that been?
Listen to Deadpool, bro.
Wesley Snipes was dead on, bro. Only one there ever's gonna be.
So this movie's just bad because it's just a Justice League movie ripoff, pretty much.
It's like when you like, hey mom, can I get McDonald's? And she's like, we've got McDonald's at home. Marvel was like, we got
Justice League at home, and this is the Justice League at home.
Yeah.
This movie, I don't know, like I feel like if they would have made this a little bit more Guardians, but more intense, like
you gotta add some personality.
This movie's so dull.
It's so dull.
Why is it so yellow?
For you to make a movie with Salma Hayek and me not like it, you know how bad it's got to be.
And who the fuck are the goddamn villains? These weird symbiote fucking guys.
Yeah.
Like,
also, like the
Sentinels were cool, I guess.
Celestials.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Celestials also, they should be a way bigger threat. And the movie, like
why couldn't the Eternals have fought a real Celestial, not some weird sludge guy?
Yeah, it's just weird.
Like, that would have been cool as fuck.
And you can tell Marvel thought they ate so hard with this shit.
Yeah, they were like, bro,
dude, this shit is gas.
This is going to be our next Avengers. Nope. Not even close.
No,
Pretty sure they've straight up canceled the other one that was planned.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Like, I dead ass don't think we're ever going to see the Eternals ever again.
No, I have no doubt in my mind.
I'm pretty sure this movie was universally fucking hated. Like,
I want to say this is the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes MCU movie.
Probably.
Maybe
it
MCU
would not,
project.
It would not surprise me.
Okay.
Anyway.
Next we get to the big dog. Come on now. Give me Spider-Man No Way Home. Peak.
This was the first time we got like a major cameo of returning actors. You know?
Yeah, this movie's so nostalgic. Like,
there's only one Green Goblin. There's only one Doc Ock.
Yes, sir.
And there's only 3 Spider-Man.
There's only, I mean, like, Spider-Verse, there's like 40, but like...
40? You mean like 40 million?
40 million. This movie, like, the biggest complaint I hear about this movie is, well, it's really not the same if you don't watch it in the theater. When you watch it at home, it doesn't hit the same. Duh.
First of all,
no shit.
This movie is the greatest theatrical experience of all time because I saw it with my best friend. You dumbass.
I'm just fucking with you. After I ripped my Spider-Man suit in the asshole.
Yes.
Yep.
After you ripped your Spider-Man suit in the asshole.
I did. I mean, I did.
It was above your ass though, so that was
you
good,
were looking. I bet too.
Yeah, we both dressed up in Spider-Man suits.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Iconic ass picture.
Mm-hmm.
I was fat as fuck in that picture. Don't even say another word. Don't even say another fucking word. Don't you dare say another fucking word, JaCoby.
My cosplay was so good, someone at the theater asked to take a picture with me.
To take a picture
no, asked me. You jumped in. The guy said, hey, can I take a picture with you? And I said, sure. And then bro went, do you want one with me too?
No, I said mask on or off.
Mask on or off. Like, what the fuck?
The movie. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, it's amazing. Really, it's amazing, and I like how this one they quit with the Iron Man bullshit pretty much right out the gate. Like there was some, but it wasn't a lot. So good
I'm
on them
sicko.
for that.
I like my Spider-Man to suffer, and he suffered.
No, because it's a funny meme when you say it like that, like Spider-Man.
But it's a real thing.
But it's real because
it is.
Spider-Man is suffering all the time. He's got such a shitty life all the time, and yes, do you want him to be happy? Of course. Who doesn't want your favorite superhero to be happy? But it's the fact that he is suffering so much, but gives so much back in return that makes it that much better. And this movie encapsulated that hardcore.
If you want to know even more of what we mean, watch Spider-Man 2. That is the peak example. Raimi Spider-Man 2. That's the peak example
when
of this.
Everything is going wrong, he is still there for others, and it's such a good thing to just follow, and that's why we all love Spider-Man so much.
Yep. Speaking of Sam Raimi,
this one's a flop for him. I'm sorry.
Not for him. For everybody else involved in this project.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Michael Waldron.
Yeah, dude.
Public Enemy.
We're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna say no bueno for this.
It's got enough sauce to salvage it to a certain degree.
To a very certain degree. But there's a lot that they really, really missed the mark on.
They tried to bite off too much.
They dropped the ball.
Yeah.
No, they didn't try to bite off enough. They were playing way too safe with this, I feel.
Yeah, but they also
because when you're exploring the multiverse, there should have been way more shit in this.
I guess what I meant is they couldn't handle what this movie was. Like the shit that we had in this movie wasn't fleshed out enough, but I also agree that yes, we could have gone to different places.
We could have, I don't know. I just feel like definitely with a better writer because Michael Waldron's fucking garbage.
Heavily. You do feel Sam Raimi's horror influence, absolutely,
and that's great. All of that stuff is peak.
What mouth, bro? Elite.
Yeah.
I did not like the way that Professor X died at all. He died like a bitch. But then again, they all did.
Agent Carter's death was cool as fuck.
Yeah, facts.
Getting split in half by the shield.
Yeah,
that was cool.
And our boy.
Fantastic.
Jim Halbert.
Yeah,
he hit the deck pretty good.
Jim Halbert. Yeah.
That brother's folding in the air.
But yeah, this one.
Yeah, didn't do it.
No, didn't do it. We saw it together in theater, and the end credit scene really fucking pissed me off. I love Bruce Campbell as much as an ass guy.
We were waiting for something to redeem this movie, and then this motherfucker out here eating a hot dog. We were like, all right, bro. We walked out of that movie so mad.
Yeah, no, dead ass. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Speaking of a movie that was really fucking bad, that genuinely pissed me the fuck off. Thor: Love and Thunder. Can we agree, garbage?
You garbage, yeah.
Because we said ass actually yesterday, I think.
Everything nice we said about Ragnarok, flip it. It's just too much Taika.
The only thing that could have saved this movie was Gore the God Butcher.
Gore was a good villain, yes.
And he's not in it at all.
It feels like he has 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. Genuinely. And Christian Bale gives such a good fucking performance as Gore the God Butcher.
I would love to think...
Honestly, if Gore was in this movie more, he'd probably make top 5 MCU villains.
I'd love to think that Christian Bale read the script for this movie and he's like, damn, I gotta save this shit as best I can. And he did his damnedest. But when Heimdall's son is FaceTiming us and he looks like fucking an android from 2005... You're not doing it. Taika Waititi.
This movie just felt really, really weird.
Yeah, it did. Taika Waititi injected himself way too much in this movie. Like, nobody cares about Korg, bro.
Yeah,
get Korg.
Yes, but you know that one scene that really pissed me off in the movie was Lady Sif's death. That they play it off like a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's funny that Lady Sif is dying. Dude, Lady Sif.
Yeah, Natalie Portman was good. I did like Natalie Portman in this movie.
Just this movie's fucking garbage. I'm sorry.
This is a weak movie for Valkyrie as well. She's not great in this movie. It's just
This whole movie is just bad.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, we get to our first special presentation here. I do want to call this out. Actually, the Guardians holiday special was first, I believe.
I haven't seen the Guardians holiday special.
The Guardians holiday special. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's pretty good. I think I was nicer yesterday.
Okay.
But it's pretty good.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and get the other one out of the way now because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
Werewolf by Night, great Halloween watch, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a great comic book movie.
I've heard a lot of really nice things.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's genuinely very, very good.
It's
very kind of dark. Literally is in black and white.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. Yeah. But yeah, so those are those. Holiday special is good too. It's a fun watch. It's not very important. I mean, it's kind of important because This is the movie where we find out that Mantis and Star-Lord are actually siblings, half siblings.
Yeah.
That comes up in volume 3.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Next movie we've got is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay. So
I really like this movie.
Yesterday I was a lot meaner to this movie, but the more that I thought about it,
okay, the more that I yapped about it,
the more points you brought up, I was like,
Namor's really good.
I was like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Angela Bassett got fucking robbed of an award. Actually robbed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The scene, like 10 minutes into the movie, where she's talking and she gives her whole like monologue and she's like yelling.
Yeah.
I am the queen. Like,
yeah.
Bro, full stop. That shit was insane.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
When Namor kills
her. Yesterday we had this in pretty good, I believe. Today we're putting it in great.
Yeah. I was fighting for it to be higher, so I'm totally okay with that.
I'm gonna put this movie in great today.
Killmonger's cameo.
Oh my god, that was so awesome! Because I remember watching it with you and being like, "It's gonna be Killmonger," and sure as shit, it was Killmonger, and I was like, "What?" Even though I call it, I'm still surprised.
Yeah.
No way they listen. Knock knock.
Gambit. Yeah.
Nudge nudge. Gambit.
Saying that shit for 5 years. Shuri not killing Namor at the end. Initially, I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then I'm
she's
thinking
just
about
on this war path the whole film.
And then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, "No, that's real shit. That's real shit."
And then like just the dynamic between her and Namor was also great.
Yeah,
just great comic book movie.
Yeah,
honestly,
really really good.
Then we get to a not so great one.
Well, hold up. That's Phase 4.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Phase 4. I'll give it 6.
Sure.
A lot of misses.
A lot of misses in this.
Phase 4.
And I think Eternals brings it down. Eternals and Thor: Love and Thunder bring it down a lot.
Well, and Multiverse of Madness too. I mean, but like it's like 3.
Wait, we put that in no bueno. Is it no bueno or ass?
I say no bueno. I'll go no bueno. Sam Raimi does enough to make.
Honestly, Elizabeth
Scarlet Witch looks really hot. I mean, she's really my fault.
Elizabeth Olsen does give a good performance.
She does.
So
she's genuinely like
that scene when she finally finds her 2 sons.
Yeah.
And she wants them to come with her, but they don't want to because they're fucking terrified of her. And she like yells at them, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" Like you know, that's heartbreaking.
Also,
so yeah,
it's right from WandaVision, which I love. But
yeah, right.
Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. Yeah, throw that shit.
We're gonna go right ahead and put that in
garbage, bro.
Garbage.
CGI fuckfest.
This whole movie looks so fucking bad.
I made this point to JaCoby yesterday, and I think that it's so fucking funny because it's really true. Since the whole Jonathan Majors thing has happened and he's no longer playing Kang, canonically, the threat of Kang was stopped by Ant-Man.
That's criminal.
That is insane. Imagine
Kang the fucking Conqueror.
Imagine if fucking Squirrel Girl beat Thanos. That's basically what happened.
That has happened.
But like
not satirically.
Not satirically.
Like not ironic. Yeah.
Like in Endgame, beat Thanos.
Yeah. I mean,
MODOK
again, not their fault. Okay, but again, that's not their fault. They had bigger plans,
but still, even within the contents of the movie, it sucks.
Yeah, that's.
And then now it's even worse.
Bill Murray was ass. It was just garbage.
He was ass.
MODOK was disappointing as fuck. Because it's MODOK, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, give me a good MODOK, please.
Yeah.
Not fucking. Anyway. Saving grace here.
Cleansed our palate. Guardians Volume 3, yeah.
Cleansed my palate by making me fucking sob my goddamn eyes out.
And by cleansed palate, I mean unveil every emotion I've ever felt. Yeah.
Me and Ty saw this together because you're a bitch and saw it without me.
Who did I see this one with?
Probably your fucking bitch-ass girlfriend. Fuck you, Kaylin.
My fault. Random stray.
This movie's just amazing. I don't even think we need to get into it. It's just good.
James Gunn with the biggest.
Adam Warlock is fucking hilarious and just amazing.
Yeah. Talk about going on top.
High Evolutionary, Rocket Raccoon.
James Gunn saying, "Fuck you, Marvel."
Starting the movie with "Creep" by Radiohead, the acoustic version.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Wolf Poulter gives a really good performance as Adam Warlock.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to see him.
The whole problem with Rocket is basically a metaphor for what James Gunn was for Marvel, which is
my God.
Hilarious.
That's so good.
Hilarious.
So good.
Yeah, they needed him bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
now we got the Marvels.
We haven't seen this. Okay, yesterday we did not put this on the list because we haven't seen it, and so it's unfair to rank it if we haven't seen it. So we
consensus opinions that's really bad though.
Yes,
but we're not. But we'll be fair because we have different opinions than a lot of the masses on these.
Will we ever put it onto a ranking list? Probably not. I'll watch it at one point. I don't think I'm ever going to watch this movie.
I will watch it and I'll give you a...
Why don't you stay over tonight and just watch it with me?
Yeah. There's a lot of things I'd rather do than stay over and watch that movie, bro. Yeah.
Of all movies.
I'd rather mow the grass. Oh, no. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen it.
Oh, word?
No.
Anyway, now we get to the last film in the MCU to date.
Yep.
Which is Deadpool and Wolverine. We put this in great yesterday and not peak. And I'll tell you why. I actually will tell you why this isn't peak. Because we didn't yesterday.
Just repeat what you said twice. We didn't put this in
peak. I just said it backwards, yeah.
You like inverted what you said.
This film gave me everything I was expecting.
Yeah.
I literally don't think I was very surprised during this film. And that's fine. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because it was a great experience to watch it. This is also the first movie that I've seen after I made sure to get out of the hospital.
Yeah.
From my car accident.
Bro almost died and was like,
I dead ass was like, I swear to God, I will leave this hospital with my fucking chest tube in hand to watch this movie. Yeah, I don't care. So I guess I love this movie for that, but great comic book movie just because it was just a giant fan service film, and you can never not like that.
Okay, guys, so we lied. We're actually not going to do the shows today.
And for no other reason besides the fact that
our camera battery is dying.
Our camera's about to die.
The last thing we need is more technical difficulties on the second time.
Please, dear God.
Yeah. So if we lose this footage, bro, I might actually end my life.
So we're actually going to do a separate bonus video this week for you guys doing the shows, and then we'll probably follow that up with pre-MCU stuff because also Deadpool and Wolverine was very pre-MCU heavy.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're watching Blade Trilogy.
I have never seen them. Actually,
Dude, you're missing out.
I've never seen the Blade Trilogy.
Motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. That's all I gotta say.
Let's do it. So we're gonna give you the shows later, and actually, that might give us time to watch the shows. We're not watching the shows. That's a lie. That's a straight up.
We're gonna watch the shows.
That is a straight up fabrication.
That is a straight up fib. My brothers in Christ.
So yes. So anyway, thank you so very much for watching the video. A second time or a first time? Second time for us.
Second time for me. So I edited the other one and was like, oh, why can't I hear shit?
Anyways, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. And we'll see you guys later.